Now for a preview of this Ottawa University Braves basketball broadcast, here's KOFO's David Potter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to York, Nebraska, where it did not reach 20 degrees today. Fortunately, we're very much indoors in a, what I understand is a new facility for the York Panthers, and we're bringing you the Wise Guys Construction pregame show here on KOFO. I'm still David Potter until told otherwise, ready to bring you the OU basketball games. Tonight we've got two. So first off, well, of course, we have the women's team, and York is going to, they're coming off of a huge game on Saturday where they beat Bethel, knocking Threshers down to 0-10 in KC play. And you might wonder why beating a winless team is considered a huge win, and that's because it was York's first win of the entire season, conference and non-conference play combined. They had not won a game yet in or out of conference play prior to Saturday. However, this is a team that's coming together a bit of late. They played McPherson close on Thursday, just losing by 5, and of course that's the same McPherson team that came out and beat OU by 10 on Saturday. They also had a decent showing at Oklahoma Wesleyan before that. And that's not to say that York hasn't had their share of struggles over the course of 15 straight losses to start the year. 8 of those losses were by more than 30 points. The average score of a York game so far this year has been 79-57. So they have struggled both offensively and defensively, shooting 32% from the field. And the Braves are leading the KCAC in shooting defense. So that could create some issues for York as they try to score tonight. Just a team that struggles mightily on that end of the court, facing a team that tends to make others struggle mightily on that end of the court. McPherson, despite getting the win on Saturday over the Braves, was held to just 29% shooting for the night. And this is the York team averaging just 32%. This is the Braves team that, on average, allows opponents to shoot just 35%. So you might be able to expect another sub-30% shooting performance against them tonight, which obviously will go a long way toward them trying to find the right side of the scoreboard and right the ship a little bit after a tough loss to McPherson that dropped them to 6-4 in conference play, with Kansas Wesleyan losing on Saturday. A win in McPherson would have put this team into a tie for third place. Unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. McPherson was able to dictate the pace of that game on Saturday, really slow things down and put Ottawa in a type of game that they didn't really want to play. You know, Ottawa really had a lot of success just 2 days prior on Thursday against St. Mary when they came out in a full-court press using the more of a style of defense that you see if you watch NCAA men's basketball teams like West Virginia or an Oklahoma State or Louisville tend to play with that full-court press. They were trapping on the wings, and that generated turnovers. They were going up and down the court, scoring a ton of points. You know, they had 2 players scoring over 30 points, both Maddie Stewart with 33 and Kaylee Williams with 35. But then they turn around, and McPherson was really able to use up most of the shot clock on the majority of their possessions and really just slow the game down. OU wasn't able to get a whole lot of traction with that full-court defense when they did go to it, so they dropped back into a 2-3 zone. For the most part, McPherson was able to just kind of swing it around the perimeter and occasionally make a shot, which usually is going to get you a win when you hold the team to just 29% shooting, but wasn't the case on Saturday. As the Braves shot just 25% from the field. And talking to Coach Bruce Case during Hoop Talk last night, he felt like the team, because McPherson was defending them in a way that made good shots so hard to come by, he felt like the team, anytime they got an open shot, just got too excited and sped up and just hoisted up as soon as they could, and it resulted in some poor shooting and really some shots that were open and should have gone in, and most nights would have gone in, but just they seemed on target, but then would just roll right off the rim. Maddie Stewart in particular, the team's leading scorer, going just 1 for 10 from the field, but had a number of threes that looked good right up until the second, where they just rattled right out of the basket after appearing like they were going to fall for her. So sometimes you just run into those nights where things get off to a rough start, and it's just hard to right the ship once the tempo has been set. McPherson was able to come out and set that tempo, and OU will try and dictate pace tonight instead of having it dictated to them. And this is a York team that should be susceptible to that, as, again, just 1-15 on the season, averaging just 57 points a game and giving up about 79. They've given up about 65 more turnovers than they've forced this year. Obviously, they've had the ball stolen from them far more times than they've been able to create steals. And, which I talk about it every pregame show, and I guess I'll continue to do so. This OU team continues to struggle with turnovers, turning it over 21 times against a McPherson team that doesn't really turn teams over too much either. So that one was really a matter of them hurting themselves, OU was, and they'll really need to avoid that tonight, because that's how you let an outmanned team, which this York team is against the 6-4 Braves in conference play. That's how you let a team like that stay in a game and have a chance in knocking you off, is creating your own mistakes rather than being forced into them and turning the ball over and essentially just handing possessions over to the other team. The other issue was offensive rebounds, in that Ottawa gave McPherson far too many of them Saturday, and fortunately this York team, not an exceptional offensive rebounding team. They grab just under 30% of their misses, so if the Braves can be a little more aggressive on the defensive boards tonight, that could also go a long way in helping out their cause. We'll go ahead and take a break and then be back with more of the Wise Guys Construction pregame show. You're listening to Braves basketball here on KOFO.
Anyone can call themselves a construction company, slap a sign on the side of their truck, and drive around town looking for work. Is that who you want to hire? No, you're smarter than that. Wise Guys Construction at 108 North Main in Ottawa has been in business for 13 years, building new residential homes, adding additions and finishing basements, solving commercial structure needs for businesses, and repairing damage left behind from fire or water. When it comes to who you hire for residential and commercial construction needs, be wise. Call Wise Guys Construction at 785-229-5651.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
And we are back with more of the Wise Guys Construction pregame show here on KOFO, and we were talking just before the break about York's offensive struggles. They do not have a scorer averaging double-digit points per game. Now, that I said the same thing before the McPherson game Saturday, and we know how that turned out. But McPherson has been able to win a few more games than this York team has in conference play. York's leading scorer is, she will be starting tonight, Justine Manjarez, but she's only getting her 8th start of the year. This is a team that's played around with their starting lineup quite a bit. They only have 2 players who started in double-digit games. Everyone else who started games is sitting at about 4, 5, 6, 7 starts. This will only be start number 8 for Manjarez, but she does average just shy of 9 points per game. Not one who's going to fill up the score sheet otherwise. Only 9 assists on the season. She's blocked 1 shot, 7 steals, only grabs about 2 boards per game. So not necessarily an all-around player, but she has attempted far and away the most threes of anyone on the team and made far and away the most threes. She's a 40% three-point shooter, so not someone you want to allow any good look from behind the arc, because she can take advantage, and that's where she's been able to get most of her points. They have a couple of players averaging between 7 and 8, players like Greer Kleber and Jacqueline Esquivel, both between 7 and 8 points per game. And then the next highest leading scorer in terms of their starting lineup is Kelsey Sharkey. She averages about 5 points a game. So in terms of the players who are getting the start tonight, your second leading scorer for York only scores about 5 per game. And there are 3 players sitting at fewer than that. 2 of their starters tonight, Elizabeth Marr and Michaela Wilson, averaging just 2.5. So it's not a prolific offensive team, but they were able to put up some points against Bethel on Saturday and get that win. So they are capable of putting up higher totals, especially here lately as they seem to gel a bit as a team and their level of play has improved. Conversely, the Braves, of course, have 4 players averaging double digits. Maddie Stewart, Kaylee Williams, Ashley Romig, and Jenna Kramer, all over 10 points per game. And they'll all be getting the start tonight along with point guard Kelsey Hendricks. So 2 very different teams in terms of how they've performed so far this year. We're going to go ahead and take another break, and then we'll be back with the last portion of the Wise Guys Construction pregame show. You're listening to OU Braves basketball here on KOFO.
Pam Miller of Ottawa recently hired Wise Guys Construction.
We had a home that was nice quality, but it was very dated, and so we had them go in and do some extensive remodeling.
The lines of communication during the project were always open.
They did a good job of making the stressful situation much less.
The results exceeded expectation.
We're very pleased. They did a really beautiful quality job. I would recommend Wise Guys.
Whether it's residential, commercial, or restoration construction you need, be Wise. Call Wise Guys Construction in Ottawa, 229-5651.
We have these cancellations and postponements to pass along to you, brought to you by CarStar. Severe weather can wreak havoc on your car. Call CarStar in Ottawa at 242-8916. USD 368 and USD 367 will be having an early release day tomorrow at noon. The Lebo Waverly School District has canceled school for tomorrow. Central Heights home wrestling meet tomorrow night has been canceled, and the Faith Lutheran Church planning retreat for this Saturday has been rescheduled for January 28th. Stay tuned to KOFO for updated closings and cancellations. And welcome back to the Wise Guys Construction pregame show. We timed that perfectly so you could hear the entirety of the national anthem. We are about ready to announce the starting lineups, and then we will be underway. So we'll take one final break and then be back with the beginning of the game here in York. You've been listening to the Wise Guys Construction pregame show on KOFO.
Thank you for listening to the Wise Guys Construction Braves basketball pregame show. Tip-off is next on KOFO. You know Wise Guys Construction in Ottawa as the premier residential and commercial construction company. But did you know they also provide full repair for fire and flood restoration? Here's Bill Crowley, owner of Wise Guys Construction.
We offer full turnkey services, from cleaning and drying to the repairs of your project. We're an insurance preferred contractor. When disaster strikes, experience matters.
When it comes to your residential, commercial, or restoration needs, be wise. Call Wise Guys Construction in Ottawa, 785-229-5651.
Sports, information, and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where keeping you informed comes first.
KOFO, your sports source for East Central Kansas, welcomes you to this broadcast of Ottawa University Braves basketball. Brought to you by Modern Woodman agent Dale Pearson, Dr. Hale Family Dentistry, Kansas State Bank, Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling, the Ottawa Recreation Commission, and by State Farm Insurance agent Ryan Dispro, Ransom Memorial Hospital, Sutton's Jewelry, CarStar, Messengers Home Furnishings. Also by Dingle & Son Mortuary, Ottawa University, the Ottawa Herald, Wise Guys Construction, Kramer Pharmacy, Franklin County Chiropractic, and Cosentino's Price Chopper, State Farm Insurance agent Keith King, Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, People's Bank, Advantage Electric, Quality Structures Incorporated, and Maxwell Chiropractic. Now let's rejoin KOFO's David Potter, courtside for Ottawa University Braves basketball.
And we're here for the start of the game between York and the Braves. And the Braves win the tip-off and goes into the hands of Kelsey Hendricks. Hendricks bring up the court and set up the offense. Braves looking to get started on the scoreboard here, unlike they did at McPherson where they struggled early. Here's Ashley roaming underneath off the assist from Maddie Stewart, gets it up and in off the backboard, and the Braves are off to a good start. Elizabeth Maher will swing it over to Justine Manyares on the right wing. Now she looks to drive a runner from the free throw line. No good, rebounded by Kaylee Williams. Almost had it stolen by Manyares, but she's able to retain possession. Gets over to Stewart. Now down low to Romeg, who's going to kick it out to Jenna Kramer. She's going to be called for a travel. Shuffles her feet before she put the ball on the court. It's going to come back the other way. Kendall Fike to throw it in to the point guard, Elizabeth Maher. They're giving Wilson a lot of room at the top of the key. Not a three-point shooter, but they gave her so much room she tried it anyway, and it goes in. They'll say she had a foot on the line, so it's only a two-pointer. Braves come back the other way. It's Kaylee Williams at the top of the key. She's looking to drive. Now she's going to be called for a travel. She drags her pivot foot, trying to jab step there. Spike throws it into Elizabeth Maher. Will be defended by Kelsey Hendricks. We've not seen any of the full court press that the Braves used against St. Mary last Thursday. Sitting back and set in a half-court man-to-man defense. We'll get it to Wilson down low. She's working against Ashley Romeg. No room. She's going to have to kick it back out. Now drive and jump shot by Spike, and she hits it. It's a 4-2 lead for York. Braves swinging it around the perimeter. Coach Tate yelling in instruction from the bench. Hendricks swings it around to Williams, out to Romeg, all the way to Kramer. Now they find Kaylee Williams out open in the corner. She's going to drive. She kicks it out. Jenna Kramer puts it up from outside. It's good, and the Braves will take a 5-4 lead. Jenna Kramer with the early three, and the Braves back on top, 5-4. Now here's the dribble drive and layup by Kelsey Sharkey. She got past her defender out on the wing, and there was nobody there on house defense. And she hit an uncontested layup, and York's back on top, 6-5. Williams with the skip pass over to Kramer. Nice quick pass down low to Romeg. So kick it back out to Williams, who finds Kramer again. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Romeg with the long jump shot. Misses, and nice offensive rebound by Kaylee Williams. Here's Williams for three. Short. Rebounded by Spike with York. York is moving right to left, wearing white, trimmed in blue. The Braves in their black jerseys with gold trim, moving left to right. And there's going to be a foul against Kelsey Hendricks out away from the basket, as Elizabeth Maher started to drive there. we're going to see a substitute for OU. I believe that's going to will be Leslie Spear coming on for. They're going to bring Romig out. Sharkey to inbound from underneath the basket. Finally finds Marr out on the left side. Marr will kick it out for a quick three by Manara as she misses, rebounded by Jenna Kramer. Now, quick pass. Kaylee Williams going to get to the basket, draws a lot of contact. She won't get the layup to fall, but she is going to go to the line for a pair of free throws. Nice job by Kaylee Williams, seeing she had room in front of her, and that the only way that Wilson was going to affect that layup was by fouling, and that's exactly what happened. So heads-up play by Kaylee Williams. She'll go to the line for a couple of free throws where she shoots 79% on the year. First one, though, is off to the left. No good. We'll see another substitution as Caitlin Hughes comes in for Jenna Kramer, a freshman in for a freshman. Williams steps up to the line. She, of course, had that ankle injury in Saturday's game as she makes the second one to tie it up at 6. Coach Tate was saying that tightened up on her a little bit this week, but she should be close to 100% at least for this game today. Here's a three-pointer. Looks like she took kind of a jump step before she shot. No travel call, and now Kaylee Williams kind of found herself backing up as she grabbed that rebound. She took a step backward. She's going to step over the baseline. It goes out of bounds as Rashia Parker comes on for Hendricks. Now Sharkey, they inbound underneath the basket. They'll work it back into Sharkey, who's now going to kick it out to the perimeter. Mara gets into the paint, puts it up, off the glass, and in. They've already given up 8 points to a team that averages just over 10 in the first quarter across competition this year. It's Hughes out on the left wing. Spear works it around the perimeter. Maddie Stewart trying to get position down low. They'll get it to her, and she draws a quick foul from Michaela Wilson. That's going to be number 2 on her. As soon as Stewart got the ball, she bumped her. And so she's going to have to come off the court, and in comes, that'll be Juracia Smith coming on to replace her. Stewart at the top of the key, takes the three, now drives, goes up. Looks like she might have drawn a foul. She felt she had, but no call, and the ball doesn't even hit the rim, and York's going to go the other way with it. Sharkey at the top of the key. Now she passes over to Fike for three. Got it to fall, and York's up by 5, 11-6. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They got that first win of the year Saturday, and they look motivated today. Williams gets it into the lane, kicks out to Rashia Parker. A wide open three. She traveled before she shot it. Shuffled a bit, trying to set her feet. She came up short on the shot anyway. As Jacqueline Esquivel and Kat Mosley will come on for York. Coming out are Manjarez and Marr. And Esquivel will be the new point guard for York. And here's Sharkey getting it over to Fike for another three. This one she misses, and that's going to be an over-the-back call. It's Juracia Smith trying to reach over Leslie Spear to get the rebound. Now, an entirely new group is going to check back into the game as Hendricks, Hughes, and Kramer will be the guards. Post players Jessica King and Ashley Romig returning to the game as York goes to apply some full court pressure here. Braves able to break the press. Hughes takes it over the half court line, hands it off to Hendricks. We'll get around the perimeter. Hendricks over to Hughes, now down to Romig. She works the baseline, and she's going to get fouled. That's Kendall Fike stepping in her way and delivering the foul with the body. Team foul number 4 against York, so that'll be something to keep an eye on over the last 4 minutes and 12 seconds of the first quarter here. The next foul will put the Braves at the free throw line. Hendricks to inbound, finds Caitlin Hughes wide open for three, missed. Off target by King with a nice offensive rebound. Hendricks with this three from the other side, misses, and the rebound will bounce out of bounds before anyone touches it. York ball. Two wide open looks from three, but they couldn't hit on either one of them. Esquivel to bring it up for York. Brings it out to Mosley, who finds Sharkey's shot is blocked by Leslie Spear, or Ashley Romig, excuse me. But the ball falls into the hands of a post player for York, who's able to get the putback, and the Braves find themselves down 7 now. Romig working down low. Kicks it out to Jenna Kramer for three. Got it. They needed that one. Pulls it within 4, 13-9. And now Coach Bruce Tate wants a timeout for Ottawa. We'll take 30 seconds and then be back with more Braves basketball on KOFO.
Eric Price and his staff at the Lamb Roberts Funeral Homes are proud to sponsor this KOFO sports broadcast and honored to help so many families in the community with compassionate care when it's needed most. Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, Ottawa, Baldwin City, and Overbrook. People's Bank in Ottawa is proud to support our area sports teams. From People's Bank Field at Ottawa University to our Bucks for Buckets promotion and more, we believe our local sports programs are an investment in our future. Best of luck to the Ottawa sports teams from all of us at People's Bank, member FDIC.
And we are back in York, where the Braves had fallen down 13-6 to the Panthers, but Jenna Kramer just hit her second three of the night, falling to within 4, 13-9. There's 3:25 to go here in the first quarter. Kaylee Williams waiting to check on at the next opportunity. Sharkey at the top of the key hands it off to Esquivel. Working against Hendricks. Has her pass stolen by Romig. Romig's going to hold it up and get it into the hands for point guard Hendricks. Threw it into some danger there. The Braves come up with the steal. Now a dangerous pass on the other end, almost stolen. Caitlin Hughes able to reel it in. Now they'll work it down low to Ashley Romig. Had the entry pass knocked away, but she's able to regain it. Now here's King going up through the block attempt. Misses. Now there's going to be a foul on the rebound, and it's going to be called against Haley Schofield of York. And that will put Ashley Romig into on or at the line, as York is now hit the 5 foul mark and puts OU in the bonus. Romig's first free throw is good. She's an 83% free throw shooter on the year. Maddie Stewart checks in for King. Kaylee Williams on for Caitlin Hughes, as it's now a 3-point game with just under 3 to go in the first quarter. Romig's second free throw, no good. Offensive rebound by Jenna Kramer. Kick it out to Kelsey Hendricks. They'll work it around. York in a 2-3 zone. That pass knocked away, but it was saved by York, but right into the hands of Ashley Romig, but she quickly had it knocked right out of bounds. But the ball will stay with the Braves. It's Hendricks to inbound along the baseline. Gets it to Maddie Stewart. Quick jump shot, no good. Ashley Romig pulls down the offensive board. Now goes up, has it blocked. Regains possession, goes up again. Looked like it was going to roll in, then it falls off the rim, and it's rebounded by Jeracia Smith. Had a couple of opportunities there, couldn't quite get it to go. York gets the ball down low. Now Schofield's going to kick it out to Sharkey, who tries to drive. Now kicks it out to Esquivel for 3. Missed badly. Rebounded by Kaylee Williams, and Esquivel tries to reach around her back to get to the ball and try and force a steal. She's going to be called for a reach-in, and that puts Kaylee Williams at the line. So she could narrow the lead to 1 if she's able to hit both of them from here. 13-10, 1:58 remaining here in quarter number 1. Kaylee Williams, a 79% free throw shooter at the line. She hits number 1. We're going to see Jessica King come on for Ashley Romig. And then Melanie Romig going to substitute in for her first action of the day. She comes on for Kelsey Hendricks, so that should move Jenna Kramer to the point guard position. Now a new player for York, as Greer Kleber comes in. Here's Williams' second free throw. It's up and in, and the Braves have cut it to a 1-point game. 1:58 to go here in the first quarter. And here's the drive and dish out. And a travel. Going to go against Schofield, who moved her feet before dribbling. We see that often, especially at the high school and college levels. They go for a pump fake, and then they forget to put it on the floor before they take that first step. Kramer in at point guard, swings it over to Melanie Romig. They'll find Kaylee Williams at the top of the key. They'll continue working it around the three-point arc. Williams out to a wide-open Jenna Kramer for three. Great ball movement, and she got it. Jenna Kramer with her third three of the night here in the first quarter. Now a steal by Melanie Romig on the other end. Maddie Stewart's going to look to drive, goes up, and now kicks out to Kaylee Williams off the backboard and in. Braves up 17-13, and they're on an 11-0 run. Vargas in at point guard now for York. She's going to pass it down low to Schofield, and now they'll take it to Vargas at the top of the key. Open jumper from the elbow, misses. Kaylee Williams pulls down the board. Jenna Kramer to bring it up. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Kramer kicks it out to Kaylee Williams. Had the open three. Pump fake, drives, now kicks it out. Here's Maddie Stewart with the 12-foot jumper. Knocks it down. The Braves are up by 6, 19-13. A 13-0 run in just about a minute and a half. Vargas will kick it out to Kat Mosley at the top of the key, working against Jenna Kramer. Drives, and they're going to say she took one too many steps on her way to the basket. So another turnover for York. As a couple of starters will re-enter the game. Kelsey Sharkey back in there, as is Justine Hanares. No shot clock now, just under 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Kramer to bring it up. Braves up 19-13 after falling down 13-6 early. So hold for the last shot. As we get down to the 10-second mark, here's Jenna Kramer looking at out past the timeline. Now here's Melanie Romig over to Jessica King. She's going to drive up off the backboard and in, and one. Drew the foul from Dracia Smith. So King got the ball at the free throw line, put the ball on the floor, had a nice drive, drew the contact, and still was able to finish off the glass. It's an 8-point game with 3 seconds left. King to the free throw line, hits the free throw, and this is a 9-point lead for OU. Things started off rough, and it's been all Braves ever since. And here's the last second shot by Vargas. She holds it for too long, doesn't even get a shot off. So that'll be the end of the first quarter. Braves are up 22-13. You're listening to OU basketball on KOFO.
At State Farm, our goal is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. This is State Farm Agent Keith King in Ottawa. Let me help you protect what's most important to you. Give my office a call at 785-242-9435 or stop by at 111 South Main Street in Ottawa.
This is Eric Crowley with Advantage Electric. On the court, teams look for any advantage they can get. When it comes to your electric needs, whether residential, commercial, or custom, we're your advantage. Advantage Electric, 229 North Main in Ottawa. Call today at 785-418-1218.
When it's time to pop the question, or if the answer has already been yes, then it's time to visit Sutton's Jewelry. Why not pull out all the stops for your special day with a style that will take her breath away? From the latest sparkle to artistic magic, Sutton's Jewelry stays on top of the latest trending jewelry designs. Sutton's in-house talented bench jeweler, Phil Sutton, can size any selection, and in-house repairs are always a quick turnaround. Sutton's Jewelry, 207 South Main, downtown Ottawa.
And welcome back to York, Nebraska, where the Braves had a rocky start, fell down 13-6 to this York team that's been feeling it after getting their first win of the season on Saturday, trying to make it 2 straight. But then they closed the quarter down with a 16-0 run, and they find themselves up 22-13, a 9-point lead here as we start off the second with York inbounding to point guard Elizabeth Morrow, who's back in the game. Kelsey Sharkey to drive now, gets all the way to the basket, off the glass and in. Nice drive by Sharkey. No help defense there underneath for OU, giving up the easy basket. Lead cut to 7. There's Kramer out on the wing. So Kaylee Williams in the corner, passes up the open 3 for the skip pass to Hendricks. Hendricks wants to drive, now steps out, kicks it over to Maddie Stewart. Down to 7 seconds on the shot clock. Kaylee Williams with the ball at the elbow. starts to drive, kicks it out to Hendricks for the three. Missed. Rebound initially grabbed by Onyares, but then she turned right into the arms of Ashley Romig, who was able to wrap her arms around the ball and get the tie-up. And possession arrow pointing to the Braves, so they'll inbound. Here's Maddie Stewart. She's fouled as soon as, well, no, they'll call it a travel. They closed the elevator doors on her. Two players came up and bumped into her from each side. She fell down, and they'll call her for the travel for hitting the floor without dribbling. Still a half-court man-to-man defense for the Braves. York moving right to left. Now, a steal by Ashley Romig. She got into the passing lane on that entry pass. It's coming back the other way. Hendricks fires over to Jenna Kramer looking for her fourth three. She's got it. She's got 12 points tonight on 4 made threes already. And the Braves go up by 10, their biggest lead of the game. 25-15. Kendall Fike wants to drive the baseline, has it knocked away by Maddie Stewart, and now there's going to be another tie-up as there was a loose ball on the floor after Stewart knocked it away. Now the possession arrow pointing toward York, and they'll inbound underneath the basket. Sharkey, the one to inbound. Looking for someone, and she'll have to use the safety valve. Michaela Wilson, who was at the top of the key. Now she'll pass it off to Mar, the point guard. Mar looks for room to drive. There isn't any, so she'll pass it off to the left wing. Now here's Sharkey peeking over to Mar for a long two. Got it. Nothing but net. They cut the lead back down to single digits. Here's Hendricks over to Jenna Kramer. Back to Hendricks. Maddie Stewart passes up the open three to get it to Kaylee Williams. Nails the three from the corner. Williams with 8 points now. It's an 11-point game after the back-to-back made threes by Jenna Kramer and Kaylee Williams. Mar with the ball out on the right wing. Now she'll send it over to Kendall Fike. They'll keep working around the perimeter, looking for an opportunity to get inside. So Kayla Wilson with another three. Misses that one. She actually knocked one down. Her foot was on the line earlier where she knocked down a long distance two off the backboard earlier in the game. Now here's Kaylee Williams on the other end hitting a 16-foot jump shot. Now York wants the timeout. The Braves have gone up 30-17. It'll be up the 30-second variety. We'll take a break as well. 7:36 to go in the half. Braves up 13 on KOFO.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
And we're back in York after the Panthers took the 30-second timeout to try and calm things down. The Braves have pushed the lead up to 13, the biggest of the game. It's at 30-17. 7.5 minutes to go here in the half. Vignares brings it up to the top of the key, then passes it over to Sharkey. Sharkey wants to drive on Jenna Kramer, gets it up off the glass, but doesn't hit the rim. Maddie Stewart with the rebound. She'll get it out to Kaylee Williams. Williams wants to drive. Got a little too far into the basket, had to kick it out. Avery Lumens into the game for OU. Here's the corner three by Kaylee Williams. No good. Maddie Stewart with the offensive board. Almost lost it. Now she kicks it down underneath to Leslie Spear, who barely gets possession. That was a dangerous pass. The Braves look to reset. Avery Lumens at the top of the key. Now driving to her left. Goes up, has it blocked by Michaela Wilson. Now it's coming back the other way. Here's Sharkey on the other end. Shuffled her feet. It's going to be a travel. It took a bit of a hot step and a jump after she picked up her dribble there. And she missed the layup attempt off the front of the rim anyway. 30-17. Braves still on top. Lumen bringing it down for OU. Lumen drive to her right. They'll cut that off. They'll work it over to the left wing to Jenna Kramer. She's already hit 4 threes today. Now she wants to drive. Now we're going to see a foul called on Kendall Fike as she tried to fight through a screen. Jessica King checking in for Maddie Stewart, who's done some nice work on the boards here. Still a 13-point game, 6:26 showing left on the clock here in the second quarter. Kramer to inbound from the sideline. Will get it into Lumen. He's defended by Manyares at the top of the key. Now back to Kramer. Kramer is going to launch from way downtown. She's got it again. She's got the hot hand tonight. 5 of 6 from three-point range, and the Braves lead is now 33-17, and now there's a foul on the lead on Kaylee Williams out away from the basket. It's actually going to be called against Lumen. Not a shooting foul, so it'll result in an inbound from the sideline here. Sharkey to throw it in. Defended by Jenna Kramer, who got 15 points already. It's it to Elizabeth Maher, who's going to set up the offense. Sharkey out on the wing. Now puts up a three off the back of the iron, rebounded by Spear. Gets it into the hands of Lumen to bring it down the court. Outlet pass to Kaylee Williams, who goes down underneath Jessica King. Too far into the basket. She's going to have to kick it out. Kramer thought about the three. Now sends it over to Kaylee Williams. Williams tries to get over to King. Nice job by Michaela Wilson of diving into the passing lane for that steal. And Leslie Spear showing quick hand. Knocked it away briefly, but York able to recover. And here's a drive, a scoop layup, too hard off the glass, rebounded by Kaylee Williams. That's her 6th board. Now she finds Jessica King on the fast break, too hard off the rim, or the backboard, and it rolls off the front of the rim, goes out of bounds. But that's going to be last touched by York, so it'll be a throw-in for OU. And Jeracia Smith is going to check back on for Michaela Wilson, who's playing with a couple of fouls. Lumen to inbound, gets it to Spear, working around in the post, and draws a double team and kicks it back out. King at the top of the key. Nice entry pass to Spear, which she got a hand on it and it rolled off. It goes out of bounds. That'll be a turnover after a nice job by Jessica King of getting the entry pass over the defender. Spear had established position down on the post. She just wasn't quite able to reel in the pass. Ashley Romig and Kelsey Hendricks waiting to check on at the next opportunity. Nice job by Lumen there of knocking that pass away. Was almost able to track it back down for the steal, but not quite able to get there before it rolls out of bounds. Now Spear and Lumen check out of the game for OU. 5:03 showing on the clock here in the first half. Braves up 16, 33-17. Led by Jenna Kramer with 15 points and Kaylee Williams with 10. Manyares over to Smith. Knocks it down. That's Jeracia Smith with about an 18-footer. Falls and cuts it to a 14-point lead for OU. Hendricks back in at point guard. Finds Jenna Kramer again. Thought about the three. Kelsey Williams will go ahead and let it fly. Misses. Defensive rebound by Elizabeth Maher of York. So Williams now 1 of 4 from 3-point range. Maher gets it over to Smith out in the right corner. Now a quick 18-foot jump shot by Manyares is off target. The Braves are forcing York into a lot of long-range cues. Here's Kaylee Williams on the other side, and one draws the foul and gets it in off the glass. Foul, I believe, will go against Jeracia Smith. And it is on Smith, so that'll be number 2 on her. So both their main post players, Michaela Wilson and Jeracia Smith with 2 fouls apiece. 4:11 here to go in the first half. Williams to the line. Can't knock it down, but Jessica King flies in there for the offensive board. Now she draws a foul as she drives to the lane before her shot attempt, so it'll stay on the floor. Maddie Stewart ready to check in for Kaylee Williams. Williams with 12 points so far, just behind Jenna Kramer's 15. Kayla Hughes also into the game. The inbound to Ashley Romig, picks up her dribble, finds Caitlin Hughes getting to the basket, but Maher reached in there and knocked the ball away. Now Maher to bring it up for York. Brings it over to the right wing. Sharkey wants to drive. Now, thought she had Smith cutting to the basket, but Smith had held up near the elbow, and it goes out of bounds, and York's going to call another 30-second timeout to try and regroup. We'll take another break. It's 35-19 Braves. You're listening to KOFO Sports.
Community journalism is thriving at the Ottawa Herald. 3 days a week in print and every day online, the Herald's award-winning staff covers the news that matters to you. Breaking news, sports, events, and so much more. Just as the Herald has done for more than 140 years. Call 242-4700 to subscribe today, or find us online at www.ottawaherald.com, on Facebook, or download our app.
And we're back at York, coming out of a timeout. The Braves up 35-19. Jenna Kramer's at 5 of 6 from three-point range. She has 15 points. Kaylee Williams with 12 points, a game-high 7 rebounds, but also a game-high 4 turnovers. Hendricks to bring it up the court for OU. She's got Hughes, Stewart, Ashley Romig, and Jessica King in the game. King drives the lane just off target with her left-handed layup there, but nice offensive rebound by Hendricks. Now Stewart gets into the lane, goes up, and they're going to call her for a foul. It was kind of a Euro step move. It didn't look like she'd walk, but I think we've seen 7 or 8 travel calls combined between the two teams so far. It's definitely something the referees are looking for, and now we're going to see a foul out away from the basket. A moving screen on Sadie Pittman. That's going to be foul number 1 on her, but team foul number 4, so York in danger of getting to the bonus, or putting OU into the bonus, rather, fairly early again here in the second quarter. Maddie Stewart starts from the elbow, works her way in, now finds a wide-open Ashley Romig underneath. As they went to double-team Stewart, they left Romig all alone, and she puts it in off the glass. It's an 18-point game. Biggest lead of the night so far for OU. Mackenzie Grauberger into the game for York, has it on the right wing, and she'll kick it out to Vargas on the left wing. And now she's going to draw a foul from Kelsey Hendricks, as she started to drive, and she pulled up for a jumper, but they'll say the foul occurred first, so it'll stay on the floor. Melanie Romig to check in for Jessica King, as Michaela Wilson comes back in for York. As does Nakia Hackle, who I believe is seeing her first action of the game. York to inbound along the baseline. They'll get it up to Michaela Wilson at the top of the key. Just over to Vargas on the right wing. And that's going to be another moving screen called against York. That's on Hackle, who just entered the game. She'll pick up a quick foul. And because it was an offensive foul, the Braves won't get any free throws, but that does put OU into the bonus. Rashia Parker is back into the game for OU. She's in a point guard, taking it down the court. Melanie Romig out on the left wing. Caitlin Hughes wants to find Ashley Romig down low, but she was triple teamed as soon as that pass left Hughes' hands, and an easy steal for York. And the referee has blown the whistle, I believe, to fix a clock issue. Yeah, the shot clock had not started yet. No, take 5 seconds off, put 25 seconds onto the clock for York, and we're back underway. 2:35 to go here in the first half. Braves up 37-19. Now, stepping out of bounds is Mackenzie Grauberger, who wanted to drive the baseline, and actually, no, they're going to say she might have been pushed out of bounds, so York will retain possession and inbounds along the baseline. Here's an open three, missed. Rebound fought for and won by Maddie Stewart. Stewart's 4th rebound of the game. Here's Caitlin Hughes out on the left wing. Finds a wide open Maddie Stewart at the top of the key, but she passes up the three to get it over to Melanie Romig. Now she finds Caitlin Hughes on the other side of the court. She's going to kick it back out. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Stewart into the lane, goes up, rolls off the backboard, off the rim, and in. Maddie Stewart pushes the lead to 20 for the Braves, 39-19, under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Kaylee Williams waiting to check in. Now, it's going to be a tie-up down underneath as Sarah Schaefer tried to make a move to the basket, but I believe it was Ashley Romig who got her hands on the ball. Now Hughes will check out for Kaylee Williams, who has 12 points, 7 boards, but has turned it over 4 times already. Parker stays in at point guard. There's Williams out on the wing. Over to Maddie Stewart. Half-court man-to-man defense being played by York. Maddie Stewart's all alone from three-point range, in and out. Looks good, but just rigged out. Less than a minute and a half left here in half number 1. Braves hanging on to that 20-point lead. Vargas thought about the three, decides against it, defended by Parker. Now she's going to work it in down low to Schaefer. Working against Ashley Romig, who's going to get called for the foul. The shot falls. And now this will be a 3-point play opportunity for Schaefer. I know they're going to say that was before the shot. I'm not sure how, but the contact appeared to be what little there was, all as she went up for the shot. But the basket will not count, and York throws it in. Here's Vargas getting into the lane, now kicking it out. Into the lane, blocked by Ashley Romig, but they're going to call a foul. I don't know if that's going to go against Romig or another player. Romig came over on help defense. I don't think she was close enough to have fouled. It looks like another OU player may have fouled with the body as Romig got the block, but they are going to call it on Ashley Romig. And the first free throw by Mackenzie Grauberger is good. Makes it a 39-20 game. OU still in the lead. 58.5 seconds remaining here in the first half. Second free throw is good. It's an 18-point lead. And Maddie Stewart fouled way in the backcourt. She hasn't even crossed the half-court line yet. Vargas going for the steal, gets her arm. And Stewart will be headed to the line for a pair of free throws. She's an 80% free throw shooter, 70 of 88 this year. 54.5 seconds left. Stewart's first free throw falls off the rim. She's had a lot of shots like that between Saturday and today. From the free throw line and from behind the three-point line that look good and then just roll right off the rim. Second free throw's good. And the Braves have hit the 40-point mark. Michaela Wilson gets it over to Hackle for three. Got it. And it's a 16-point game. Maddie Stewart crosses the half-court line, gets over to Kaylee Williams, uses the screen, wants to drive, but they cut that off. Gets it back out to the safety valve, Rashaya Parker. She might have carried there, might have got away with it too. Gets it out to Kaylee Williams, goes up off the backboard and in. Pushes the lead back up to 18. 15 seconds remaining in the game. Vargas for three. No good. Offensive board by Wilson, and they're going to call, well, one referee signals travel, the other referee is going to say a tie-up. She definitely jumped and came back down to the floor, but generally when another player gets a hand on the ball in that situation, you are going to see a tie-up called, and that is what they go with after tossing it over. 10.7 to go on the clock here in the first half. Braves up 42-24. York to inbound along the baseline. They get it into Hackle. Had to chase that pass down near half court. Hackle just hit a three. She'll try another. Yeah, she got it. And that's going to be the last play of the half as York cuts it to a 15-point game with the back-to-back threes by Nakia Hackle. And we will go into the Advantage Electric halftime show with a 42-27 OU lead. You're listening to OU basketball from York, Nebraska here on KOFO.
Whether you're building or remodeling, you want your project to be unique to you. Eric Crowley of Advantage Electric can help.
Something recently we've started is custom lighting. Making custom lights, I've noticed it's a new trend. Not everybody wants the big, box light fixtures that you can buy. Everybody's looking for something eclectic nowadays and new and a conversation piece.
Your ideas come to life.
Anything and everything that you could think of that you could possibly make a light fixture out of, we could certainly do it.
Advantage Electric, 229 North Main. Call 418-1218.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
This is Ryan Disborough, your State Farm insurance agent in Garnett, providing insurance and financial services, including retirement options, bank loans, life insurance, and annuities. Call and schedule your financial services consultation today at 785-448-1660.
To protect your family and plan for your financial future, get to know your Modern Woodman agent.
Hello, I'm Dale Pearson, your Modern Woodman agent in Ottawa, Kansas. Call me today at 242-6566.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Hi, I'm Dalton Evans. I'm 10 years old and happy to report that I've never had a cavity, thanks to brushing twice a day and 2 cleanings a year at Dr. Hale Family Dentistry.
Schedule your family's appointment today by calling 242-1800.
Since 1944, families of Franklin County have called Dingle & Son Mortuary and Crematory in their time of need. Why? Because of the peace of mind received knowing that Dingle & Son will take charge and exceed expectations. Visit dinglemortuary.com.
And welcome to the Advantage Electric halftime show here on KOFO 1220 and 103.7. Residential or commercial, contact Advantage Electric for all your electric needs in Ottawa. And the Ottawa Braves, with a fine first half performance, going up 42-27 at the break. And it could have easily been worse than that, but Nakia Hackle of York was able to hit threes on back-to-back possessions to narrow that lead. The Braves have led by as many as 20. They actually started this game out down 13-6, but closed out the first quarter on a 16-0 run. We're up by 9 at the end of the first. Then again, pushed that lead out to as many as 20. But the late threes by York able to now knock it down to a 15-point lead. Still, the Braves really dominating this one. 5 first-half threes for Jenna Kramer. She's 5 of 6 from beyond the arc. Also has 2 rebounds and leads all scorers with 15 points. Kaylee Williams is right behind her, though, with 14 points on 9 shots. 5 of 9 from the floor, 1 for 4 from three-point range. Kaylee Williams also with a game-high 7 rebounds. The only downside to Williams' game so far is the 4 turnovers, but if she's going to score 14 points and grab 7 rebounds per half, then you can deal with some turnovers. Ashley Rome was able to put in 5 points, pull down 3 rebounds, and came up with 2 steals. No blocked shots yet. It looked like she had one, but they called a kind of a mystery foul on it. She's the KCAC leader in blocks. Then Maddie Stewart, of course, the senior high scorer for the team, got 5 points. Only shot 4 times. Was not really looking for her shot as much in the offense as they had players like Kramer and Williams taking care of the scoring for her. She was able to pull down 4 rebounds and dish out a game-high 4 assists. The rebounding totals really pop off the stat sheet at you as between 11 offensive boards and 12 defensive boards. That's right, they have almost as many offensive rebounds as they do defensive rebounds. They have a total of 23 boards today. York College has only grabbed down a total of 9 rebounds through the entire first half. And between the two teams, you're looking at 42 missed shots, and they've only rebounded 9 of them. That's not going to win you any ball games, especially when you're facing a tougher team like the Braves are. Again, York coming off their first victory of the entire season on Saturday. We'll go ahead and take a break and then be back with more of the Advantage Electric halftime show. You're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO.
Ransom Memorial Hospital Cancer Care, your cancer-fighting team, is open and accepting patients. For a personalized care experience, call 785-229-8203, online at ransom.org or at 1301 South Main Street, Ottawa. RMH Cancer Care, close to home, close to your heart.
Smart Ottawa shoppers know Costantino's Price Chopper has the best rewards program in town. Only Price Chopper lets you earn points on all your purchases. Visit mypricechopper.com and start saving on food or fuel today. Shop Costantino's, your local family-owned grocer since 1948.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
This is Dr. Adam Maxwell of Maxwell Chiropractic, serving you with chiropractic and wellness care at 225 South Walnut in Ottawa. Call 785-893-8272 for an appointment. As a lifelong Ottawa resident, I'm proud to be a supporter of OU Braves athletics and wish the teams good luck this season.
Kramer Pharmacy, downtown Ottawa, hopes you're enjoying this KOFO sports broadcast and wishes all the area teams good luck this season. Call Kramer Pharmacy today and ask about their convenient MedSync program that allows you to have all your prescriptions filled at the same time each month. Call 242-2055.
When quality matters, choose the best. Choose Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling. Call today and make sure your heating and cooling system is ready for the season at 785-242-9273. Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling, maintaining your comfort for over 30 years.
This is Lou Baker at CarStar Ottawa. Our technicians are highly trained I-CAR certified repair experts. We provide continued education for our employees and the latest equipment to ensure the highest quality repairs. We work hard at staying your #1 collision repair shop. 1-800-CARSTAR. Relax. We'll take it from here.
And we're back in York, and more of the Advantage Electric halftime show as the Braves find themselves up 15 at the break, 42-27. And it's time for the weekly turnover check, and true to form, the Braves have turned it over 10 times, which normally would be a killer in just one half, and certainly wouldn't lead to a 15-point lead, but fortunately, between the offensive rebounding edge and then the fact that York has turned it over 10 times as well, it has not hurt them so far. But that's something they're going to have to clean up if they want to try and set themselves up for a decent postseason run. You can't keep turning the ball over 20 times every game, regardless of opponent. That's been a season-long issue for the Braves. Fortunately, offense not an issue tonight. Again, Kramer, 15 points, and Kaylee Williams, 14 points, as the team is shooting 46% from the floor as a whole and 43% from three-point range. Now, York, who struggles to score and hit only 32% of their shots coming into this game, has managed to knock down 44% the first half, 11 of 25, but we've seen some funny-looking shots from long range go in off the backboard, and some long-range twos that really aren't high-percentage shots falling. So the variance maybe could be attributed for at least some of that. But still, the Braves will probably want to, A, clean up the turnovers, and B, make sure they get hands and faces as York puts up jump shots here in the second half. Once we get to that point, we're still about 6.5 finished away from half number 2. But we will go ahead and take another break and then be back with more of the Advantage Electric halftime show. You're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO 1220 and 103.7 FM.
Safe, secure, strong. We're rock solid. Kansas State Bank. A better way to bank with community people you know. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
At State Farm, our goal is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. This is State Farm Agent Keith King in Ottawa. Let me help you protect what's most important to you. Give my office a call at 785-242-9435 or stop by at 111 South Main Street in Ottawa.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
This is Dr. Weston Zinner at Franklin County Chiropractic in Ottawa. We hope you're enjoying the game and remind you that whether you're an athlete or a weekend warrior, we can help relieve your pain for a better performance. Call 785-242-9393 for an appointment.
Need to know if your child's game or practice has been canceled due to weather? Sign up now for Ottawa Recreation Commission's text alerts. Go to orcottawaks.org to sign up or for more information.
Quality Structures Incorporated in Richmond is proud to sponsor this KOFO sports broadcast. They know experience matters on the court and when it comes to your building needs. Visit qualitystructures.com and let them put their years of experience in constructing post-frame buildings to work for you.
You can just about hear that cold Kansas winter wind blowing, and you're going to want to make sure your heater is working this winter. The best way to do that is call the pros at Adamson Brothers at 785-242-9273. Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling, maintaining your comfort for over 30 years.
And we're back in York, Nebraska for the last segment of the Advantage Electric halftime show. And just watching the men's teams warm up here, you can definitely see why York has been as successful as they have been. Not to spoil the pregame show for the men's game, but the York men's team having a much better year than the women's team. And, boy, it seems like they just don't miss from outside. They've got a lot of guys who can really get way up there on rebounds and dunks. So that'll be a team to watch. They play fast-paced basketball. But right now we're focused on the women's game, and the Braves up 42-27. We went over the stat sheet for the Braves already, but looking at York, although it hasn't been overall an especially impressive first half, the leading scorer, Nakia Hackle, was able to become the leading scorer by virtue of 2 threes in the last minute of the half. She's 2 of 3 from outside, has 6 points, and that leads the team. Next up is Kendall Fike, who's been able to get to the lane and cause some issues here and there for OU. She has 5 points, 3 rebounds, and has also blocked a shot. And then we have a tie for third place that's going between Jeracia Smith, who's got 4 points on 2 for 2 shooting, and then Elizabeth Maher, same thing, 4 points, 2 for 2 shooting. We've seen 2 block shots so far, one by Fike and one by Smith. The Braves have yet to block a shot, but the Braves do have 3 steals so far. York able to come up with 2 steals as Mackenzie Grauberger, in just 4 minutes of play, does have 2 points and a steal to her name. And then Michaela Wilson with 2 points and a steal, also has 2 rebounds. More of a post player, but her 2 points actually came on a long jump shot, which initially looked like it might be a 3, but she had 1 foot on the line, so it was ruled a 2. We have time for one more break, and then we're going to bring you the second half of Braves and the York Panthers. You've been listening to the Advantage Electric halftime show here on KOFO.
This is Dr. Weston Zinner at Franklin County Chiropractic in Ottawa. We hope you're enjoying the game and remind you that whether you're an athlete or a weekend warrior, we can help relieve your pain for a better performance. Call 785-242-9393 for an appointment.
Need to know if your child's game or practice has been canceled due to weather? Sign up now for Ottawa Recreation Commission's text alerts. Go to orcottawaks.org to sign up or for more information.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
It's the annual store-wide clearance sale at Messenger's Home Furnishings in South Ottawa. This is one of the biggest sales of the year and includes every category in the store. Reclining furniture, bedroom furniture, dining room furniture, youth furniture, sofa chairs, end tables, and much, much more. Save on closeouts of Serta iComfort, iSeries, and Perfect Sleeper mattresses while they last. Long-term interest-free financing is being offered, or you can use our free layaway and pay it off with your upcoming tax refund. Messenger's Home Furnishings is located just west of Sirloin Stockade on 23rd Street in South Ottawa.
This is Ryan Disborough, your State Farm insurance agent in Garnett, providing insurance and financial services, including retirement options, bank loans, life insurance, and annuities. Call and schedule your financial services consultation today at 785-448-1660.
Since 1944, families of Franklin County have called Dingle & Son Mortuary and Crematory in their time of need. Why? Because of the peace of mind received knowing that Dingle & Son will take charge and exceed expectations. Visit DingleMortuary.com.
And we're back in York, ready to start up the second half. The starting lineups back on the court for both teams, with one exception. Nakia Hackle with a hot hand there at the end of the first half will come in for starter Justine Manjarez, the team's leading scorer. She's not out there to begin the second half. There's a three off the mark by Kaylee Williams, and it goes out of bounds. So York will inbound. They're now moving left to right. Wearing white, Braves in black going right to left. Get around the perimeter. There's Hackle, wants another three, in and out. Looks like she might have had it. It's going to be an over-the-back call on Michaela Wilson as she tried to get the rebound over Ashley Romig. Hackle has a strange-looking delivery, but she gets the shot off quickly, and as she showed in the first half, she can make them. So delivery doesn't really matter as long as you have the effectiveness. Hendricks to bring it down the court for the Braves. Brings it over to Kaylee Williams. Jenna Kramer at the top of the key looking for somewhere to go with it. They find Ashley Romig. Now they get it back out on the perimeter. Jenna Kramer in the corner passes up the three. Now gets it over back to Romig, working the baseline. Nice bounce pass to Maddie Stewart off the glass and in. Ashley Romig with an assist. She looked like she was falling out of bounds. Just bounced it into the hands of Maddie Stewart, who found herself wide open from about 8 feet out. There's that's Sharkey on the drive, and she misses. Rebounded by Stewart. Now Braves coming back the other direction. Maddie Stewart holds things up and then hands it off to Kelsey Hendricks. Romig driving the baseline, then goes up, blocked by the rim. She got too far into the basket. Rebounded by Michaela Wilson, and coming back to the right for York. Sharkey likes to drive. Now she's going to hand it off to Hackle, who's going to get it into Kendall Fike, and that's got to be something. What are they going to call it? Either a travel or a held ball. And they're going to say it's a travel. She jumped and came down with the ball. It looked like an Ottawa player slapped at it, but if you don't keep your hand on it as the player comes down with the ball in their hands, then it's going to be a travel, and that's exactly what happened. Now they'll try and work it into Ashley Romig. Also almost had it stolen. Now she draws contact on that short-range jump shot attempt from about 6 feet out. She'll go to the line. Ashley Romig will shoot 2 more free throws. York's entire team only combined for 2 free throws in the first half. That's something we didn't mention in the pregame. They do not shoot any free throws at all. In fact, they've shot about 200 fewer over the course of the season as Romig hits both and pushes the lead back up to 19 for the Braves, 46-27. But York not very aggressive in attacking the basket, mostly a jump shooting team offensively, and as a result does not get to the line often. Mike gets it over to Sharkey. Sharkey gets it into the lane, trying to back Jenna Kramer down. Now gets it over to Wilson. Airballs the jump shot from the side. Rebounded by Kaylee Williams. That's board number 8 for Kaylee. Hendricks to Kramer, back to Hendricks, back to Kramer. Now they work it down low to Ashley Romig. Nice little sneaky pass over to Maddie Stewart, who was making a cut to the basket, but she was quickly fouled in lieu of letting her have the open layup. And it occurred before she had a chance to go up for a shot. So it'll be on the floor. That foul called on Kelsey Sharkey, just the first on her. As York may be in a 3-2 defense now, at least based on the way they line up on the inbound. And the inbound is knocked away. They couldn't get it to Romig, and that's going to be a turnover by the Braves. Again, the turnovers haven't hurt them in this game, but they've still committed too many of them. On an inbound, you can't afford to just throw a low pass. There's a blocked shot by Ashley Romig from out on the perimeter. Came out, closed in on Jeracia Smith. just jumped up and knocked it right back down. Here's Maddie Stewart for three. Off target. Rebounded by Smith. So 46-27. Under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Sharkey wants to drive along the baseline. Partially blocked by Jenna Kramer. Goes out of bounds. I don't know if Sharkey feels like she has the advantage offensively on Kramer or if she just likes to drive. But every time she gets the ball, she wants to try and get it into the paint. Kramer's done a good job of sticking with her. As Sharkey tries to back Kramer down, kicks it out to Hackle for three. Got it. That's her third three of the game. And pulls them back to within 16. They're going to need to close out on her a lot better and stop helping off of her. That's what happened there when Sharkey tried to back Kramer down. Kaylee Williams came off of Hackle to help, and so Sharkey just kicked it right back out to Hackle on the perimeter, and she knocked down a wide-open three. And you can't give it a hot hand open threes. Here's Maddie Stewart on the drive, too hard off the glass. Rebounded by Ashley Romick, goes up, draws the foul, can't quite get it to fall, but she'll go to the line for another pair of free throws. That will be rebound number 5 and offensive rebound number 4 for Ashley Romick, who has 7 shots, and let's make it 8. She makes the first free throw. Caitlin Hughes to check in for Kaylee Williams. Well, maybe we'll get one more try from the free throw line. And it's the front of the rim and a nice roll. That makes it 48-30. Although the scoreboard has not been updated yet. About 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Here's Smith getting it down low to Schaefer, who has it stolen by Jenna Kramer. Kramer looking to take it all the way the other direction. Draws a lot of contact. No foul called. Ashley Romick picks up the ball, and she misses a contested shot from short range. And now York will take it the other direction. And Kelsey Hendricks is going to be called for a foul with the body on Elizabeth Maher. Going to be her second. As Leslie Spear and Rashia Parker come on for Ashley Romick and Kelsey Hendricks. 48-30, 5:40 remaining in the third quarter. Braves have led most of the game ever since going on a run and about halfway through the first half. The first quarter. Here's a jump shot by Maher, left alone for about 15 feet out, and she knocked it down. There's a long three by Jenna Kramer, no good. That was just a heat check, but Caitlin Hughes, the offensive board, funny-looking shot on the putback attempt. Leslie Spear able to get the offensive rebound, but then falling out of bounds, tried to save it, and it goes right into the hands of Vargas for York, and Vargas tried to take it all the way back, and she missed the that's Kleber, not Vargas, but she missed the off-balance layup attempt. Now, Bruce Tate wants a timeout for OU, and apparently not happy with Jenna Kramer's shot selection from about 4 feet behind the three-point line. We'll go ahead and take 30 seconds, then be back. You're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO.
The Ottawa Shopper has a new look with new features. Never miss your favorite TV show with the TV Guides. Find area church times and the popular Kids Talk About God column on the church pages, and get useful employment tips from our weekly Q&A advice column. Call 242-4700 to get your Franklin County address added to our subscription list for free, or pick up the Ottawa Shopper at multiple racks around town. That's 242-4700.
Sports, information, and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where keeping you informed comes first.
And we're back in York. Coming out of the timeout, the Braves with the ball. Here's Rashia Parker getting to the basket, too hard off the glass. Rebounded by Kleber. Didn't get any of the rim with that one. Here's Maher looking to drive. And lost the handle and just had to tip the ball out to Minyares into the game for the first time this half. He's leading scorer with a rough first half. She went 0 for 4 from the field. There's a 3 by Minyares. Misses, rebounded by Parker. So she's 0 for 5 now. Parker moving to her left to set up a play for the offense. She'll go off to her right, to the right wing, kicks it back over to Maddie Stewart. Wants to get it to Leslie Spear down low. Now Spear worked around underneath the basket, kicked it out for 3, and that's going to be a 3-second call. Spear made a little post move to try and free up space and then passed it out, but forgot to leave the lane and stayed in there too long. Stewart and Spear will come out. Jessica King and Ashley Romig will come in. So 2 Romigs in, Melanie and Ashley. More than halfway through the third quarter now. The Braves up 16, 48-32. Here's Manjarez with a long 2. Rims out. Rebounded by Ashley Romig, and that's going to be a foul call against Jerasia Smith. And I believe that's number 4 on her. It is. And that's also going to put OU in the bonus. So all 3 quarters now, OU has gotten to the bonus very quickly. And Romig, their top free throw shooter in terms of percentage and shots taken, will go to the line. Number 1, rims out. Only 2 of 8 from the field, but she's got 9 points so far by virtue of getting to the free throw line. Romig with 9 points, 6 boards, and make it 10 points as she hits her second free throw. It's a 17-point game. It's going to be Esquivel taking it down the court for York, and now it's thrown out of bounds. That was Kleber trying to pass it out to the wing, but there was no wing player there. King inbound to Avery Lumen, who's now in the game for the Braves. She just checked in for Rashia Parker. Now the pass down low to Romig is off target, stolen by Sharkey. Sharkey wants to bring it back the other way. She wants to take it all the way. Now she's going to kick it out at the last second for a jump shot. Missed. King with the board for the Braves. Melanie Romig out on the wing, finds Ashley, who's going to get into the lane, goes up, finishes off the glass. Nice shot by Romig, kind of fading away a little bit there and getting it in. Lead pushed up to 19. They've led by as many as 20. Esquivel thought about the 3. There's a whistle by the referee. He's going to call a foul off the ball. Foul called on Avery Lumen. That's her second, team second. Throwing to Esquivel out on the left wing. She's looking to run a play. Just a fist in the air to signal it in. Now here's Sharkey, has it knocked away by both Romigs, kind of combining there, but she also got bumped, and that's going to be a foul called against the Romig of the Ashley variety, her second. Team foul number 3. Inbound gets it into Sadie Pittman. Now here's a shot through, maybe a little bit of contact. No call. Sharkey misses. Avery Lumen with the ball. Melanie Romig swings it over to Caitlin Hughes and then back over to Lumen to set up the offense. Jessica King at the elbow had Ashley Romig cutting to the basket, but couldn't find her, and she'll go up herself and misses the shot from point-blank range, but it was heavily contested. York with the defensive rebound. Now here's Sharkey into the lane on the other side, draws the foul, but misses the shot. Will be 2 shots now for Sharkey. Her first trip to the free throw line of the day. And in fact, these will just be the 3rd and 4th free throws attempted by York today. First free throw is up and misses, no good. Sharkey just a 60% free throw shooter on the year, now just under that. We're going to see another substitution as Haley Schofield comes in for Kleber. And now Nakia Hackle back into the game for Justine Manjarez. Manjarez, the team's leading scorer, shot is just not falling today, but Hackle is. So they'll have her out in lieu of Manjarez. As the second free throw is good, and it's an 18-point game. Good ball movement, finding Jessica King, who goes up with the left hand off the glass and in. Lead back up to 20 at times a high for the game. York working the ball around the outside of the arc. Sharkey wants to drive on Melanie Romick. Does. Goes up with the left hand off the glass and in. Nice take by Sharkey. Kaylin Hughes now with the ball. Hughes, Lumen, and Melanie Romick, all freshmen in the game for OU right now. Ashley Romick tries to get it down underneath to King. Has it knocked away. Then Romick reaches out, grabs the steal, and then as she goes up for the shot, has the ball knocked away. But the Braves will get the inbound up 18. Melanie Romick was wide open for three. Not really a shooter by nature. Passes it away. Lumen with a long two. Off balance or off target. And King grabs the offensive board and the putback. 55-35. 20-point Brave lead. They'll get it down underneath to Sadie Pittman. A nice little jump shot from 10 feet away. Under a minute to go now in the third quarter. Hughes, the team's point guard, bringing it down. Shifting over to Lumen, over to Melanie Romick, who finds Jessica King. Nice little jumper from 8 feet out and pushes the lead back up to 20. Just keeps vacillating between 20 and 18 here. York really unable to make any headway. The Braves unable to push that lead any higher than 20. Sharkey's going to be fouled out on the perimeter by Melanie Romick, trying to prevent her from getting around her. .3 on the clock. Maddie Stewart getting ready to check in. Sharkey's 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Her first one here is short, no good, as Stewart checks in for Melanie Romick. Shot number 2 for Sharkey is in. And the lead cut to 19, 57-38. Only about a second and a half difference between the shot clock and the game clock. King at the free throw line. A move now gets into the lane and off the glass. Good. Jessica King's done a great job with that little short drive from the free throw line. She's able to finish with either hand and pushes the lead to 21. That's the biggest of the game so far. Esquivel looks to take the last second shot. She's actually going to draw a foul with 1.3 seconds left. So Esquivel will get to the free throw line for the first time today. She's a 76% free throw shooter. First one is up. Not a lot of arc on it, but it goes in. 59-39. The Braves will hardly have time to get a shot off after the second free throw. 1.3 left on the clock. Second free throw is no good. Romick gets the rebound, and now the buzzer sounds. And we will enter the fourth quarter with the Braves up 59-39. You're listening to Braves basketball live from York, Nebraska, here on KOFO.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-329-4100. That's 1-800-329-4100. 1-800-329-4100. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
We're back in York, ready to start up the fourth and final quarter between the Lady Braves and Lady Panthers. And then we will get to the men's game. 59-39, the Braves have really dominated this one after about the 4-minute mark in the first quarter. starting lineup back out on the court for the Braves. There's a hodgepodge of players out for York, but they do a lot of rotation and play a lot of different players throughout the game. I don't believe they have a single starter out there at the moment. Ball knocked out of bounds by the Braves. It'll be an inbound for York. Getting close to a 5-second call. Now she finally gets it in. Blocked by Maddie Stewart. That's going to be a foul called all the way from half court by the furthest possible referee. And that will send Haley Schofield to the line for a pair of free throws. Misses the first. This is the first time this season she's gone to the free throw stripe. Second is up and in. And the lead cut back down to 19. Little full court pressure coming from York there. Braves able to break it. Now here's Kaylee Williams, starts to drive, kicks it out. Maddie Stewart had an open three, decides to drive instead. She draws the foul. Well, they say it's on the floor in the act of shooting. They will send her to the line for two. First free throw is up and in. Makes it 60-40. 9:36 remaining. As Stewart, the team's leading scorer, averaging just over 16 points a game, now has 8 and make it 9 as she makes the second free throw, pushing the lead back up to 21. Vargas, the point guard, just throws it away, trying to pass it out to the wing. Unforced turnover, and the Braves will take over. Hendricks to bring it down for OU. Crosses the half-court line, defended by Vargas. Kicks it over to the right wing to Kramer. Now she'll swing it out. Now they get down low to Ashley Romig. Another little fadeaway move. She gets it in, and it's a 23-point lead. Now that's the biggest we've seen so far. Romig has 14 points. Just behind Jenna Kramer for a game high. Kramer scored all 15 of hers in the first half. Vargas kicks it over to Veal, who's going to drive and draws the foul as she goes up for an underhanded layup from the floor. Kind of a strange layup attempt, just sort of reaching through the foul to try and get it up to the basket. Didn't go in, but it will put her on the free throw line where she makes her first. Only her third and fourth free throws attempted this year. So the Braves giving some players more toward the end of the bench for York some free throw shooting practice here. (63-41). Now the second free throw is good. It sets it to a 21-point lead. Kramer, Stewart, and Hendricks in the backcourt to bring this one up. They break the press. They get into the hands of Hendricks to set the offense. Uses a screen. Hendricks driving inside the arc. Now kicks it back out. Ashley Romig had Maddie Stewart flash into the basket briefly. Didn't get it to her. Now Hendricks finds Stewart. Stewart fouled as she goes up. Vargas complaining that Stewart was using her forearm to push her back to establish position, but then she reached in as Stewart went up for the shot. Stewart will go to the line for a pair of free throws. First one is no good. Trying to get into double digits on the point column here. She's sitting at 9 currently. 63-42, 8.5 to go in the game. As Stewart hits the second free throw, she's up to 10 points now. The 22-point lead. Now Stewart, quick hands, gets the steal, not the fast break. Gets it ahead to Kaylee Williams, but this is going to be a foul called as they reached in on Stewart as she made the pass. So the layup made by Kaylee Williams won't count. It'll be an inbound for the Braves as Vargas comes off and starting point guard Elizabeth Farr checks back in for York. Hendricks will inbound to Jenna Kramer. Kramer finds Ashley Romig down low. Over to Maddie Stewart. Nice touch on the short little jumper to push this to a 24-point game. 66-42. Veal on the wing now works it over to Schofield. Maher looking for somewhere to go with it. Finally finds Michaela Wilson. He's going to kick it back out to Maher for a long three. Long. Actually put too much on it, but it's rebounded by Veal, so York maintains possession. Out on the left wing, Maher with the ball again. Now she'll find Schofield. Michaela Wilson wants a three. That's going to be I believe an offensive foul. Yes, an offensive foul called against Veal down low, trying to establish rebounding position. So shot missed anyway, but would not have counted. Now Leslie Spear checked in for Ashley Romig, and Caitlin Hughes on for Jenna Kramer. 7:36 remaining. Braves up comfortably by 24, so you may start to see some lesser-known names into the game here as we head down the stretch as the Braves maintain this big lead. There's another foul on York. That's going to put the Braves in the bonus and send Kaylee Williams to the free throw line. She already has 14 points today. If she makes these, she'd have a game-high 16 and pass Jenna Kramer. Hits the first. 67-42, 7:33 remaining in the game here. Again, the Braves fell down 13-6 early on in the first quarter and then have not looked back after going on a 16-0 run after that. And two made free throws by Kaylee Williams puts her up to 16 points and puts the lead up to 26 for OU. Graubarger into the game for York has the ball, kicks out to Veal on the left wing. And she'll find Sadie Pittman working against Leslie Spear. Now Maher wants to drive underneath, draws the foul on the floor before going up for the layup. That's team foul number 4 on OU, so York very nearly in the bonus already, and we're not even 3 minutes into the quarter. Veal to inbound along the baseline. We'll find Maher there in the left corner. Now she wants to work it into the paint, pulls up. Jumper is very short, misses everything. Maddie Stewart on the board, gets it to Kaylee Williams on the fast break. Taking it all the way, and she draws the foul. That's going to be Graubarger called for the foul. And Kaylee Williams will go back to the free throw line, where she is 5 of 7 today and has 16 points overall. Hits the first one. As a couple of subs come on for York. That will be Kelsey Sharkey and Jacqueline Esquivel coming back in. Williams to shoot her second. And rims out. Offensive board by Maddie Stewart. Goes right back up off the glass to score. And it's a 29-point game. 6:50 to go. 71-42. Now a steal by Kaylee Williams. Fast break. Goes up and off the glass and in despite the contest by Esquivel. And the lead is now pushed over 30 points. Here's Sharkey driving, blocked by Maddie Stewart. Kaylee Williams looking to drive the other way. Goes up, draws contact, and they're going to call that a charge. As Graubarger gets in front of her and establishes position on the drive. Melanie Romig and Jessica King to check in now for Kaylee Williams and Maddie Stewart. (73-42), 6:20 to go. Braves with this one well in hand. Here's Sharkey at the three-point line, looking to drive. It's been her game so far. Now there's going to be a tie-up as Kelsey Hendricks got her hands on that ball, tied up with Sadie Pittman, and possession error pointing in the Braves' direction, so they'll get possession back as Rashia Parker comes on for Kelsey Hendricks. Inbound to Melanie Romig. We'll get it into the hands of Parker, the point guard. Now King to drive, spins, little fadeaway, misses, but Leslie Spear gets the offensive board, kicks it back out to Romeg, who gets it into the hands of Parker, swings it to Hughes. Hughes thought about a step-back three, then passes it off. Parker will take a long two, very short, barely drew iron, and then a tie-up underneath as King and Pittman both went after that board. Esquivel setting up the offense. Here's a three from Sharkey, missed everything, and it just goes out of bounds. Michaela Wilson to check back in for York. She'll replace Sadie Pittman. King inbounds to Hughes. They'll keep that full court pressure going. King take it down, stops at the free throw line, and sends it back out up top to Parker. Melanie Romeg swings it over to Jessica King. Tried to find Spear down underneath, but the pass was way off target. Just right into the hands of Michaela Wilson. Now coming back the other way. Fast break. And off the glass and in. That's Sharkey. She has 10 points now to take over a team high for York. And here's Caitlin Hughes getting into the lane, and that's a foul on Grauberger, who reached around to try and get that ball knocked away. And Hughes will go to the free throw line. Does not shoot free throws often. In fact, has only shot 10 this year, but has made all 10. So let's hope I didn't just jinx her by saying that. Makes the first. She makes this one, I'm safe. 30-point game, 74-44, 4:42 remaining in the final quarter. Hughes gets her second, so she stays perfect from the stripe this year and pushes the lead back up to 31. There's a three-pointer by Grauberger and way short. Wilson and Hughes fighting for the rebound. Then York was able to save it right off the leg of Caitlin Hughes, and it'll be an inbound along the sideline for York. Throw it into Esquivel. Working against Parker, swings it over to Sharkey. Offensive foul as Michaela Williams, too physical, trying to establish position down on the post. That's going to be foul number 4 on her. King throws it in. It's Caitlin Hughes, defended by Esquivel, taking it over the half-court line. Ball staying on the perimeter for now. Hughes at the top of the key. Had an open three. Not interested. Parker swings over to King. King getting into the lane again. This one a little too hard, but Spear goes up, grabs the offensive rebound. And they're going to call a foul on Spear, I guess, for going over the back. It looked like she was just that much taller than the shorter player going for the rebound. And that's what Bruce Tate is arguing, that she didn't even leave her feet. She just reached up and grabbed the board. But to no avail, that'll send Michaela Wilson to the line. Wilson, a 68% free throw shooter this season, hits the first. Brings the lead back down to 30 as Avery Lumen checks in for Rashia Parker. Wilson at the line for shot number 2, up and rims out, rebounded by Leslie Spear. Caitlin Hughes to bring it down. They drop the full court pressure, drop back into like half-court man-to-man. Now a nice entry pass by Melanie Romig over the hands of Michaela Wilson into the hands of Leslie Spear, just turned around and put it in off the glass. Great entry pass coming from the wing by freshman Melanie Romig. And great entry pass by a freshman, not words you get to say very often, because that is a refined skill getting the ball into post players as Michaela Wilson scores there on the other end for York. So to have a freshman in Melanie Romeg who can pass it that nicely is quite an asset to have. There's a foul, I believe that's going to be number 5 against Michaela Wilson, and it is. She fouls out and sends Jessica King to the line. 3:16 showing on the clock. It's a 30-point game, 77-47. And for the first time today, we will see a new player for the Braves who's not showing on my roster. So as soon as I get a name, I will gladly say who it is. Second free throw misses after one make by Leslie Spear. Now Esquivel to take it down the other direction for York. There's a corner three by Hackle. She's got it, her 4th three of the day. It's Alex Parker who just came into the game for OU. This is her first appearance in a game this season. Here's Jessica King, lost control of it, might have traveled, no call. And why not? Here's a three, and it's good. By the freshman Alex Parker, she knocked it down. Why not? They left her open, and she drains it, 81-50. Here's Esquivel drawing the foul as she goes up on the other end. And the Braves bench just jumped up and started cheering immediately when she knocked that down. Her first appearance of the season, and she drains a three within a minute of coming into the game. Now we've also got Bailey Schaefer into the game for the Braves. That's going to be her first appearance of the season. Second free throw by Esquivel, no good. Rebounded by Spear. Schaefer to bring it down for OU. As it is back over to Alex Parker. Ball knocked away out of bounds by Grauberger of York. Here's the inbound to Parker at the top of the key. Just over 2 minutes to go. Braves up by 31. Parker almost has that stolen. That's got to be a foul. They'll say it went out of bounds off of Jeracia Smith, but basically she just tried to go through Alex Parker to get that ball and appeared to push her to the ground with both hands, but I don't think it went out of bounds off of York either, so they've been their version of making up for not calling the foul. Here's Parker. The three again rattles out. It looked good for a second. And here's a tie-up down low. Staley Deal is into the game, as is Katie Riffle, as OU empties their bench and gets some younger players some playing time. Schaefer will throw it into Parker. He gets to Spear down low. Spear into the lane. Nice little move. Goes up with the right hand. Too hard off the glass. With the offensive board chased down by Deal. And now a foul way out away from the basket. No need for it. But Alex Parker will go to the free throw line, fouled by Grauberger. Her third. 1:42 on the clock. First free throw of the season is good. So Alex Parker comes in and already has 4 points in her first appearance of the year. Shot number 2 is up and good. Lead pushed back up to 33. Veal taking it the other way for York. Now she'll slow it up out on the left wing. A drive by Grauberger. Kicks it out for 3. Got it. That is That tackle again. That's her 5th three. She's matched Jenna Kramer in the three-point column. 83-53, 30-point game. Here's Leslie Spear working along the baseline. Goes up off the glass and in. Spear has 3 points now. Coming up on a minute to go. Tackle passes it over to Veal. Now exactly 1 minute left. Gracia Smith, a long two, misses, and it's rebounded by Staley Deal. Will hand it off to Bailey Schaefer. Now Alex Parker swings it over for a three, and it's short. It's right on target by Katie Riffle, but just a bit shy of the net. Bounced off the front end of the rim, and there's a loose ball foul, and now York will come and shoot free throws on the other end. That's Veal going to the line to shoot. Veal is a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw stripe this season. Hits that one and brings York back to within 29, under 30. Is the lead for OU. Veal's second free throw is good. The 28-point game, 41 seconds to go. Parker swings it over to Deal. Deal dribbles out of pressure. The lane misses. Now it's two players fighting for a rebound. It's going to be a tie-up between Grauberger and now a technical foul. I didn't see who the referee was motioning to. It looks like it's going to go against York, probably Grauberger, who looked like she might have been saying something as she walked away. And it is a technical on Grauberger, so I believe she just picked up her 4th personal, and then the technical would be 5. As that puts Katie Riffle on the free throw line. Misses the first free throw. So Grauberger and Alex Parker got tied up down low, and it got a little physical, and Parker, as soon as the referee blew his whistle, backed off with her hands up in the air, but Grauberger seemed to stay right there in the mix and appeared to say something as she turned around, and that's what got the tee. Both free throws are missed, and since it was a loose ball foul, the Braves will not retain possession. Still 85-35, now under 30 seconds left. Only about half-second difference between the shot clock and game clock at this point. Grauberger, apparently that only pushed her to 4 fouls, and now a needless foul by Bailey Schaefer will send York to the free throw line with 21 seconds on the clock. Veal to the line where she is 4 of 4 today, 6 of 6 on the season. Make it 7 of 7. Shot number 2 is up and rolls in, so she stays perfect from the line on the year. Braves will take it back the other way. No shot clock. Schaefer hands it off to Alex Parker. They're not even going to defend her, and she's going to stand there and let time run down. So we will end this one with the Braves winning 85-57 on the road over York. They improved to 7-4 on the year in KCAC play, dropping York to 1-10. We will go ahead and take a break and then be back with a recap. You are listening to OU Braves basketball on KOFO.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
Anyone can call themselves a construction company, slap a sign on the side of their truck, and drive around town looking for work. Is that who you want to hire? No, you're smarter than that. Wise Guys Construction at 108 North Main in Ottawa has been in business for 13 years, building new residential homes, adding additions and finishing basements, solving commercial structure needs for businesses, and repairing damage left behind from fire or water. When it comes to who you hire for residential and commercial construction needs, be wise. Call Wise Guys Construction at 785-229-5651.
Eric Price and his staff at the Lamb Roberts Funeral Homes are proud to sponsor this KOFO sports broadcast and honored to help so many families in the community with compassionate care when it's needed most. Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, Ottawa, Baldwin City, and Overbrook.
Kramer Pharmacy, downtown Ottawa, hopes you're enjoying this KOFO sports broadcast and wishes all the area teams good luck this season. Call Kramer Pharmacy today and ask about their convenient MedSync program that allows you to have all your prescriptions filled at the same time each month. Call 242-2055.
Tonight, don't miss the premiere of Colony on USA Network.
The question for humanity is not where we've been, it's where we are going.
From Carlton Cuse, executive producer of Lost, comes the show critics are calling an enticing futuristic thriller. It's only the beginning. Starring Josh Holloway and Sarah Wayne Callies.
Why are people fighting for their lives? We need to maintain order in this colony.
Our world is no longer our own.
Mankind will face a great trial. We have to keep fighting.
Colony premieres tonight at 10/9 Central on USA Network.
People's Bank in Ottawa is proud to support our area sports teams. From People's Bank Field at Ottawa University to our Bucks for Buckets promotion and more, we believe our local sports programs are an investment in our future. Best of luck to the Ottawa sports teams from all of us at People's Bank. Member FDIC.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
And we are back in York, Nebraska, where we've wrapped up the women's game between OU and the York Panthers, and really domination all the way through the game for the Braves. They started out down 13-6. That was about halfway through the first quarter, but then it was nothing but Braves after that. They closed the first quarter on a 16-0 run. They ended up 22-13 through one. Then up 42-27 at the half. They led by as many as 20 in the first half. 5 first-half three-pointers for Jenna Kramer. She would not end up scoring again. Then 14 first-half points for Kaylee Williams. They did turn it over 10 times in that first half, but did not end up hurting them. And then in the second half, Maddie Stewart started to come on after a quiet performance in the first. Kaylee Williams added to her point total, and the Braves pushed that lead all the way up to 30, up to 21 in the third quarter. It stayed fairly even, up by 20 at the end of the third, then pushed it to 30 in the fourth quarter. And then we're winning by enough, late enough that some reserves got to play for the first time this season late. Some players like Bailey Schaefer, Alex Parker, Staley Deal, and Katie Riffle all getting playing time for the first time in a non-exhibition this season. As the Braves win it 85-57, 19 points, 9 rebounds for Kaylee Williams, both of those game highs. 14 points, 8 boards for Ashley Romig. Maddie Stewart ends up with 14 points, and then Kramer didn't score in the second half, but still had 15 points on 5 of 7 3-point shooting. So a big day for several starters there for OU, and they come away with a fairly easy 28-point victory over York, handing them their 10th conference loss. And once again, the Braves improved to 7-4 in KCAC play. We'll go ahead and take a break, and then we'll be back with the Wise Guys Construction pregame show for the men's games. You're listening to KOFO Sports.
We hope you enjoyed this broadcast of Ottawa University Braves basketball on KOFO. Brought to you by Modern Woodman agent Dale Pearson, Dr. Hale Family Dentistry, Kansas State Bank, Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling, the Ottawa Recreation Commission, and by State Farm Insurance agent Ryan Dispro, Ransom Memorial Hospital, Sutton's Jewelry, CarStar, Messenger's Home Furnishings. Also by Dingle & Son Mortuary, Ottawa University, the Ottawa Herald, Wise Guys Construction, Kramer Pharmacy, Franklin County Chiropractic, and Cosentino's Price Chopper, State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King, Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, People's Bank, Advantage Electric, Quality Structures Incorporated, and Maxwell Chiropractic. For more information about our next OU Brave sports broadcast, log on to the KOFO sports page at KOFO.com and listen to 103.7 FM for the KOFO sports calendar. This has been an exclusive presentation from your sports source for East Central Kansas, KOFO.